Can you all hear me? Jackson, can you hear me? There we go. Great. Okay. All right, thanks. All right, good morning, everyone. As Jackson said, my name is Terry, and I'm with Smith Appliance. We are a retailer of major home appliances in Georgia. We've got two locations that are in Georgia. Our primary brands are the GE brands, all of the GE brands, and Speed Queen. We're also members of the Nationwide Buying Group, which is how we connected with Althea Suite. And I'm glad we did because it's made our life and managing our business a lot easier. So a couple of reasons why we selected Althea Suite is number one, I was looking for a point of sale system that was intuitive and easy to learn. We've got a pretty deep training curve here with our employees. Most of our workforce is considerably older and not quite fond of computers. So when we first had the idea of switching away from three-part carbon copy invoices using paper to using a computer, it was not greeted with much enthusiasm from our team. But as they got to work with Althea Suite, they began to really like the program and really appreciate what it brought to our business and also to making their jobs a little bit easier. Training was a breeze with this product. We had a training session that was hosted by Althea Suite. And really, that was all that was necessary. When we needed to go deeper into specific topics or some of our employees needed a refresher, there's a ton of videos and documentation that are available online with the application. So I haven't found there's a gap anywhere that we haven't been able to fill with these training resources that have been available to us. So it checked one of the major boxes for us, and that was easy for our employees to learn and easy for them to use going forward. If we could go ahead to the next slide. We do have two stores. And we have a lot of warehouses where we keep inventory, including a third-party logistics center as well. So we're using Althea Suite to manage all of our sales and all of our inventory, all of our purchases. Anytime we have returns, it manages that as well. So we're using the program to create our sales orders. It's great because it immediately sends our customer an email copy of their receipt. Which cuts down on a lot of the phone calls later down the road saying, I lost my receipt. Can you help me get a new copy? They have it in their email. And if they can't find the email, it's really easy for us to send them back another copy. Exchanges and returns are super easy. There's literally just a button in there that you can either exchange, you can do a faulty item exchange, or you can do return for credit. You can put that return back to the customer's card. You can put it back to store credit. You've got endless options on what you want to do with that. And one of the best things about this is that it's cloud-based. I did not want to manage a server. I didn't want to manage any hardware. And it was important to me that our point of sale be hosted in the cloud and that it was getting the right level of backup and had the right business continuity processes as well so that we could minimize any outages. And that has been true in our experience. So we have not had any actual system outages. We've experienced internet outages and power outages within the store, but we were able to easily resolve that with using our mobile devices because you can run the system on an iPad, an iPhone, any Android devices, as well as, your laptops, computers, everything. So we can use the system in the store, out of the store, regardless of internet or power situations as well. When we got started with the project, we did have some historical data that we wanted to maintain And the Althea Suite team was great about helping us to get that into our new system. We were provided templates where we could populate our customer purchases, um, our invoice history, even our item catalog. Everything that we had to bring with us could easily be uploaded either by Althea Suite, or we could do it ourselves through an Excel interface. We really had the choice. So it depends on really your level of comfort with using the technology and using Excel. If you're proficient with Excel and feel comfortable doing it, you literally can upload all of your data yourself. If you prefer to have a little help, the team will help you with that as well. We kind of did a combination of both. Um, yeah, I did some, and the Althea Suite team did some. But we were able to transfer everything, all of our history into the new system. Also for any nationwide members that are out there, if you've got an RWS website or if you're using Retail Deck, there is a sync feature with Retail Deck. So you can bring your item catalog directly over from Retail Deck if you'd like to. And that's going to bring over the item, the description, the picture, pricing, all of that information. So that's a super easy way to do it as well. But there's definitely a lot of interfaces here that can handle transacting all of your data and transferring it from any of your legacy systems. We do serialize our inventory. We do that for warranty purposes and also just for tracking and aging our inventory. Obviously we want to use first in, first out. So this helps us to know. So I literally can see from a serial number view when I purchased the serial number, what I paid for the serial number, when I sold it, who I sold it to, and what I sold it for, and the margin that we made on that sale. Years down the road, when a customer calls needing warranty service, I can put their name or their serial number or their model number in, and it's going to pull that same information back for me. So there's never any question about the product that was being purchased or any dates that are surrounding it. It also allows us to, check the status of our inventory. Like I said, we have multiple warehouses, and so we can tell exactly what warehouse is holding which cereals um, and what we paid for them. Because, as you know, sometimes there'll be deals from the manufacturer where we get a better price point on certain models. And maybe we're looking to make a deal with a customer, so we want to find the serial number that we got at a discounted price so that we can, really make a package deal for the customer. So that helps us in structuring quotes for our customers when we're trying to make a sale as well. We can reserve the inventory for our customers. So a lot of times when you're appliance shopping, the customer comes in and they make a purchase, but they aren't going to need the appliances for several weeks or maybe even several months. It's okay because we're able to reserve that cereal for the customer, hold it in our warehouse for stock, and it can't be sold out from under that customer. So we don't have that situation of, going, oops, a couple months down the road, I forgot. And we've actually sold something that was meant for another customer. It's marked reserved in the system. So you'll see with the cereals that they're either in hand, which means they're available for sale. They're committed, which means they're committed on a sale pending delivery to another customer, or they're not in hand, meaning they've been delivered. So back to the serial number conversation though, that's something that was a feature that was very robust in Althea Suite. And at this price point, serial number management isn't something that you're going to find in a lot of the competitors. It kind of bumps you to the next tier, if that's what you want to call it, in the point of sale category. But Althea Suite had all of these features at the price point that as a small business we could afford. One of my favorite features is the dashboard. So when you first enter into the system, the home screen, you can configure your dashboard and you get the choice of what you show here. So there are multiple options of graphs or just figures. You can configure this how you want. In our system, we have some sales trends that are showing each one of our stores independently by month and by week. And then we also have some sales trends by employee. So I can see how our employees are performing individually. This is one of my favorite things because I literally can hedge the stores against each other in competition for sales for maybe a Saturday when we're really wanting to, have a big day. They can see what each other are doing and or not. If you don't want them to see that information, you can configure that in security as well. But we like to have the friendly competition between the stores and see if they can outsell each other. But it also gives me good management information as well as to how we're performing overall, what brands are performing, what employees are performing, or it helps me to spot trends kind of before they become a trend. So this is absolutely one of my favorite features in the application is the dashboard. With regard to support, it is very responsive and very quick. You'll have phone numbers and email addresses, and you get an immediate response when you raise a concern. Sometimes I have questions that I send to support, and then other times I have issues. Uh, and they normally turn into new feature requests. The issues do because I'm asking for something that may not exist yet, or maybe it's a report that I need to help me understand what models are selling, what models are not selling, or what's doing well in one store versus another store. So those are the types of things that I've sent to support. Like I said, I've never had any really critical, and what I would consider a critical issue would be the system is down and we cannot use it. That has never once occurred. So all the backup contingency plans are working. We've never had that occur. So any training or support, any support issues that we've been able to raise are either just new feature requests or things for reports and requests like that. But they're always handled very expeditiously. And there hasn't been a single request that I've made that hasn't been fulfilled. So we've been very pleased with the amount of support that we're getting.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Terry. That was incredibly useful, I'm sure, to a lot of the people joining here today. I do want to take a little bit of time out now to open up to questions. I see we did just get one. Hi, Terry. What other competitors did you look at before selecting Althea Suite?
That's a very good question. So I'm not sure if you're a member of Nationwide or not, but they have a, a good number of point of sale providers that you can talk to. They even have a little quiz that you can do on their website that kind of helps you to narrow it down to which ones might be right for you. So backstory is we initially, before Althea Suite had started working with Nationwide, we had initially gone with a different point of sale provider. That turned out to be a disaster, and we ended up having to abort our implementation. And that's when Althea Suite had just started to work with Nationwide. Nationwide connected us, and we were able to rescue the project and rescue it fast. And when I say fast, it was about a week implementation timeline. From the time that I first met the Althea Suite team till the time we were up and running. So it was a very quick rescue. So some of the others that we looked at were NetSuite. The previous competitor that we had gone with was Myriad. We had used one of their products. Boy, I'm having trouble remembering the name of all of them. We talked to about 5 or 6 different ones that are connected with Nationwide. But like I said, by far, Althea Suite, for the price tier that it's at, it hands down had more features. And one of the main components of that being the serial number management. I just didn't find that being available in most of the competitors at this price level. If you want to jump into the NetSuite tier, then you get comparable features as to what you're paying for without the suite, but you're going to pay significantly much more for that product.
All right. Let's see. We have a question. Does Althea Suite have the scanner that scans incoming deliveries like Furniture Wizard? We do have a scanner. It is connected to the system. Teri uses it.
You can use a scanner or you can use your mobile phone as a scanner as well. So it's very flexible.
All right. From Jake, is there an employee view dashboard that is different than your management view?
Yeah, so I can actually turn off the dashboard if I don't want the employees to see it. There are some cases where we for some employees at different levels, we do have that turned off. It just takes them straight to the sales invoice screen in that case, because we don't really want them, to see our profit margin kind of detail.
All right. From Bo, are you able to flag in-stock items on the website easily?
Absolutely. Yes, I do that. If you check out our we have an RWS website. I am able to transfer our Althea Suite inventory, sync our Althea Suite inventory with that website, and it does show what's in stock. So you can check ours out if you want to. It's smithappliance.com, and it'll show you the in-stock flags. It actually has, it flags whether it's in stock or on display at either one of our locations. So it'll tell our customer, not just that it's in stock, where it's in stock.
All right, we have a question here from Fitzgerald. Can receipts be printed on real paper instead of thermal paper? I'll take this one, Terry. Yes, you can. You can go ahead and print on any paper, and we can definitely format those receipts, format those invoices, and make it your own.
Correct. Your invoice is completely customizable. Ours is printed on regular white paper on a regular printer. They've got it formatted for us where our terms and conditions always print on the back. So it saves us paper. So you have the sales invoice on the front and our terms and conditions on the back. So it's really nice. And we're saving a fortune and not printing those three-part carbon copy sales invoices anymore.
From Kimberly, is there credit card processing in the suite?
Yes. So it works with your credit card processor. So there are several of them that it's connected with. Ours happens to be Payrock. I think Wells Fargo is in there. Jackson can probably give you the full list of them, but is definitely connected with it. So it's just your normal credit card processing rates that apply there, just like you had transacted it through the machine sitting on your counter.
Exactly. So we have a few integrations where we are connected with a credit card processor. We don't do the payment processing ourselves, but as Terry said, it will be through your regular processor, Wells Fargo or Payrock, and then we have an integration with them. Is there a chat feature for employees to talk to each other? From Kimberly. Not necessarily a chat feature. Terry, do you do any sort of inter-employee communication using Althea Suite?
We do not. We usually just pick up the phone and call the other store. We also have, we use Apple products in our store, so they can text between the terminals with each other. But I know that there are some very interesting chat features coming soon in the product. So I'll save those announcements for you guys.
Exactly. We'll keep those for a little bit. From Crystal, do you have a service department? If so, what is your experience using the software?
So we do not do service. So I can't really speak for that one, but the module is available. I have a colleague in Nationwide who does service, and he's using the service module and is very, very happy with the process and the results that he's getting with it.
Yeah, so we have a full service module where you can create service tickets, schedule them, assign them to drivers, create invoices. It's a very comprehensive system, but we can definitely handle the service aspect of the business as well. Okay, let's see here. Hi, Terry. I'm curious about the implementation process since you said it was pretty simple. How many employees did you have to train for Althea Suite?
Let's see. Um, we had about seven between the two stores that we train, and we did it through a online meeting, a Zoom meeting, and it was hosted by Althea Suite. And literally, that's all that was required. It is so intuitive that barely even that is required. It's super fast to get started. And like I said, I mean, we were up and running from a week a week after having my first conversation with Althea Suite. We were up and running. So it will go lightning fast. And I will tell you that, I think I started the conversation with my employees do not like computers. They were not enthusiastic about the idea. So they're not, you know, fluent with using computers. So for them to pick this up so quickly is a true testament to how easy it is to use.
We have a question about pricing information. If there are any questions about pricing information, you can reach out specifically to myself, Dana, Sean, or Deepa, and we can help work with you, figure out your specifics, and get you some quote information. Um, we have a question, is there any sort of integration with dispatch track or delivery scheduling software?
It's my understanding, yes. Um,
Yes,
we don't use dispatch track, but I do see that in my settings panel that could be turned on.
yes, we do have an integration with dispatch track. We also have a very comprehensive delivery module on its own. But we can definitely answer more specific questions about that if you have any. Question from Fitzgerald. Can I use my PC laptop to access the back end instead of the computer tablet being used for the POS?
So there's really not a back end. Um, it's just the point of sale. But yes, you can use any device you'd like. You can use your PC, your laptop, or you can use a tablet or your phone. I most often use my laptop, especially if I'm working with like Excel files. So I think by the back end, you mean like mass updating products or um, customers or loading sales invoices or things like that, like historical sales invoices. That would work better from a computer just because the screen's bigger and the Excel application itself works a little better on a computer. Um, but yeah, so you can do that. And probably would encourage you to do that if you're working. Like some of the things that I do like that are I don't know if anyone on here is a GE dealer, but GE has a sale like every other week almost. So I have to go in and update sale pricing in the system. And so I'll have probably 300 to 500 different SKUs that I've got to update a sales price on. And I can do that in about 15 seconds just by loading an import file.
Okay, from Kimberly again, can you send text confirmations, email confirmations to customers?
Yes, you can.
Um, do you use the accounting module or QuickBooks integration?
So we currently use QuickBooks. I don't have my point of sale connected directly to my set of books. We do have the accounting module and I am using it, but then I just manually transfer those entries into QuickBooks. That's just because of my own preference, not for any lack of functionality. I'm just a little bit of a control freak when it comes to my books. And I don't want any mistakes in transactions funneling directly to my chart of accounts.
Yes, we have plenty of people who use just our finance module, some who use just QuickBooks, some who use the integration. It's really a mix, and as Terry said, pretty much personal preference. I do want to highlight, or waiting for any more questions, something that Dana pointed out, which is a great point. This is going to be a retailer-facing program, not a customer-facing program. So your Althea suite will not be something that your customer is getting into or looking at.
Correct.
All right, it looks like we are getting most of the questions answered in the chat here. Um, I will again mention here that if you want any further information, you want to schedule a private demo, you can reach out to Dana at altheasuite.com or Sean at altheasuite.com, as well as contact at altheasuite.com. Any of us would be happy to set up a demo for you, talk to you a little bit more, and answer any other questions you may have had. Well, we will give it a few more seconds here, but for now, I just want to say thank you so much, Teri. I know you can't hear our audience here. I'm sure they're going wild for you, but we really appreciate you taking the time. I think everyone would have gotten a lot out of this, and this was a very helpful session.
Yep. Yeah, and if you have any questions later that come up, feel free to share my email, and I'll be happy to, address, how it's working for us.
All right. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great rest of your day. And again, a special thanks to Teri.
All right. Thanks, everyone.